Stuck between a libertarian and a Republican. Welcome to Publitarian Podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. This is Ronald Johnson, Publitarian, coming at you again with another episode of Publitarian Podcast, and we are up to episode number 41? I take such good notes. Episode number 41, and I'm going to be calling this one, I'm Hearing Circus Music. And I swear I am. Whenever I see what's happening over on the left side of the aisle and in some facets of the right side of the aisle, I can't help but hear circus music. And why is that, Ronald, you ask? Don't you worry, friends. I will get to it. As it stands right now, we have a happy beer fridge. There is beer in the beer fridge. Matter of fact, I need to have one in my hand. Stand by. All right. There we go. Really quick before I get going on the podcast, I want to do a free shout out and a free plug to my boy Milo Yiannopoulos over at Dangerous.com, who calls himself the Fabulous Faggot. Gay Jew married to a black man. A lot of moving parts there. Just got that joke there. Anyway, he just released a single on iTunes, and it's called Silver and Gold, and I would highly recommend you pick up this single. He's actually a very, very good singer. I was surprised by the single. And even if you don't think you would like the song or you're not into gospel music, we really need to be supporting our side of the aisle. This guy has done a lot for, I wouldn't even say the conservative cause, I would just say for the free-thinking class of people that have become an anomaly in today's society. So go to iTunes, pick up that single. He's pretty much had the left side of the aisle ruin his career, or try to ruin his career, try to ruin his life, and try to make him as poor and miserable as possible simply for speaking out and shouting the truth from the rooftops. And we need to do what we can to support people like him that are trying to basically save Western civilization in their own way. So anyway, that's a free plug for Milo. So Ronald, why are you hearing circus music, you're asking me? Let me tell you. I'm hearing circus music because I think just utter clowns are all around me, and clowns are in charge of facilitating government in this country, and globally for that matter. Just utter clowns. Obviously, I'm not talking about the president. He's the one up there with the foam bat taking it to the clowns. God, we've got socialism that has never worked anywhere in the world trying to be implemented in this country. We've got Maxine Waters as chair of the finance committee. We've got Sweaty O'Rourke running for president. We've got Pedo Joe running for president. We've got unaccountable bureaucrats, most of which have never held a real job, and they have some sort of leadership responsibility in this country. There's just clowns all around me. What's that song? Clowns to the left of me, some jokers to the right. And here I am, stuck in the middle with you, my listeners. It's utterly ridiculous. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only sane human being on the planet. Obviously, I need to weigh in on the incident that happened in New Zealand last week. We are a divided country, which if you look at the shooter's manifesto, it's exactly what he wanted. The shooter is getting what he wanted. Speaking of Milo, whose single I'm telling you to get, he addressed this. He is one of the few people that addressed this. Supposedly, this mosque in New Zealand has been in the news before. It's been in the local news in New Zealand as recruiting two different terrorists that ended up fighting with Al-Qaeda. And that was back in 2014. Interestingly enough, I was going to share this news article with you, and all there are web archives of it now. They've scrubbed it. They've totally scrubbed it. So you won't find out that these sweet, innocent people that got gunned down was possibly a mosque for training jihadists or at least instilling hate in people to where they want to become jihadists. And that will be my unpopular opinion on that. I don't like seeing people gunned down. I don't think people need to be killed. There's radicals in any type of religion, but it just seems to me that Islam seems to be where a lot of the radical ideology is. Inconvenient truth. Anyways, the only other person I saw posting about this would have been Pamela Geller and Gypsy Crusader on Instagram. Sometimes you have to wade through his stuff. I hate to throw him under the bus too, because I do want to have him on the podcast eventually. But he's really quick to share stuff that he hasn't totally outsourced and fact checked yet. This article that I'm talking about from 2014 does exist. You just have to find it on the web archive. That's the thing. Once you put something on the internet, even if you scrub it, it's there forever. Just like celebrity boobies. I mean, once it's out there, it's out there. So that's it for New Zealand. No one was talking about that. And I know you guys are not sick of hearing about AOC. Got some AOC news for you. Of course, I am talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And what I hear a lot from my side of the aisle, the right-wingers, oh, quit giving her attention. You're just giving her attention. You're just giving her power. You're just giving her credence. No. People like her, people like crazy Bernie Sanders, they have to be addressed. You can't ignore a problem like that. It won't go away. You have to address it. You have to hit it head on and show it for the clown show that it is. So, comes to find out, Miss AOC is not an organic girl from the Bronx that just wanted to get into politics one day. So, Miss AOC literally answered a casting call, and that's why she is where she is now. Justice for Democrats is this organization that actually tries to pool talent and get people that they think fit this box and check off all the marks to run for Congress. And they're proud of it. They're touting it. You can see videos of it. Justice for Democrats, look it up. The process that they go through to get people. So these aren't people that are brought up through politics. These are people that are carefully screened, that look a certain way, trained to talk a certain way, and the end result is a palatable politician. Although with AOC, I think they're not getting what they bargained for, because she doesn't have the experience or the intelligence to do what Justice for Democrats is wanting to get done, which is to basically mainstream socialism and tyrannical authoritarian government control in this country. So AOC's brother, put her name in a hat, and she answered the casting call. And here we are. Like I said, this is on YouTube for you to see. Justice for Democrats, the YouTuber named Mr. Reagan. If you look him up, he did an entire expose on this. It's in Deep State Daily. It's all over the interwebs if you want to look it up. This practice doesn't surprise me. Just my own personal story. I used to work as a studio musician, and then I also used to work for a well-known record label. I'm not going to say which or who. And it was in the boy band era. And whenever you would talk to these young talents and ask them how long they've been playing their instrument, or how long you've been playing guitar, how long you've been in music, how long you've been singing, they would all have the same answer prepared. Oh, 2.5 years. 2.5 years. 2.5 years. And so the record label would get a hold of a modeling agency, literally just find good-looking faces with some degree of talent and groom them. Just groom them from their 13, 14 until they're able to be shopped to the public. And it's a very common practice. I'm not trying to down on Justin Timberlake or any of our pop people that we love and know so much, but they are created. They're not just natural talent that showed up. They are manufactured, created talent. If that's what's going on in the music industry, why would it not be going on in politics? Rush Limbaugh famously said that politics is the entertainment industry for ugly people. And that's where AOC is. She's a face. She checked a bunch of boxes, and now we are stuck with her. And she's also got a 41% unfavorable rating, up from 20 something percent now, that she's blaming on white males, by the way, because she's a millennial that was told good job all of her life and was handed trophies for participating. So if something is not going her way, it's obviously somebody else's fault and not the dumb stuff that's spewing from her mouth hole. So there we go. More AOC goodness. More clowning that I'm seeing is the clowning over at Fox News. I don't know what the story is with Judge Janine, but I'm sure you're aware by now that she did one of her monologues and was being critical of Ilhan Omar, another congressman, who's also not doing well with her own party right now. The Democrats are really thinking long and hard about how they're going to get rid of her because, I mean, she's just blatantly, openly anti-Semitic, which a lot of liberals are, but they can't ever let you know their true position. And that's the problem with Ilhan Omar and AOC, is they're proudly letting you know exactly where they stand, and that's a no-no for Democrats. What happens is liberals have been playing liberals, Marxists, communists, deep state, swamp power people, fascists, whatever you want to call them. Name your boogeyman. The people on the left, the Alinskyeites, have been playing this long game for decades, for generations, just being patient and quietly taking over little subtle pieces of the culture, to where people like on my side of the aisle, the right-wingers or just the free thinkers, have not been doing this at all. And we're paying the price for it now because we're always like reactionary. We're always catching up to the fight and go, oh no, they stabbed us in the back. What do we do now? Rather than like have a defense ready. So what's happening now with the younger generation, they're now starting to be indoctrinated with these leftist ideals because it's prevalent. It's in the National Education Association. It's everywhere. It's even in business. It's everywhere. So we haven't been fighting back. And the older left-wingers, their generation, has been doing this slow boil, putting the right-wingers, the free thinkers, the freedom lovers in this pot, and just been slowly turning up the water over decades, and to where we don't even know we're boiling alive. And that's where we're at right now. The young generation that's in that mindset has zero patience, zero attention span. They don't know how to play a long game. They've never had to face any kind of diversity. So they're just going, no, socialism now, right now. Kick out all these right-wing Nazis now. We need it done now. So now the young ones are like showing all the cards of what the big grand scheme is, and it's working to their detriment. So now it's our goal as free thinkers, right-wingers, if you want to call us that, just people with common sense, to finally get a long game and to figure out where we're going as a country and what we're going to do to combat this. And I think culture is a huge start, and we keep touting either our moral superiority or our intellect, and we have just been getting decimated in the culture war. And what do I mean by that? I mean, it's if you look at any type of entertainment, anything that runs culture, it's all being run by left-wing sources. That's why I am very thankful to see a lot of these young up-and-comer like right-wingers like making a difference. Like all these young like YouTubers, Instagrammers creating their own culture, their own content. Because Andrew Breitbart said that politics is downstream of culture, and we've been missing that stream. Like we haven't even been near the waterway. Anyway, I went on this large rant that had nothing to do with Judge Janine and Fox News. Anyway, Judge Janine is calling out Ilhan Omar and Islam, radical Islam, for what it is. And apparently, Fox News has suspended her over that. I don't know when she'll be back. I think Fox News started off as a noble cause, but I don't know what's happened to it now. I know that it changed CEO hands, and he's probably made a bunch of Manhattan, New York hires, and they're just keeping the conservative voices on that they know they can't shut up or there would be a revolt, and the rest are just kind of watering it down. I think the best thing to do would be for Judge Janine and Bill O'Reilly for that matter. Any of the old guard Fox talent. Maybe go over to OAN, One American News, or start yet another news network. I don't mind having, liberal opinions on news networks, but if they're making decisions to silence effective voices, then that's a problem. That's more authoritarianism. Anyway, so Fox News needs to get their rear in gear, or they're just going to go the way of any other liberal news source. So that's the clown show that is Fox News. Anyway, there's just clowns all around me. That's why I'm hearing circus music. There's just nothing but clowns around me as of late. So that will do it for me on this rant, this edition of Publitarian Podcast. If you want to reach out to me, you can. You can DM me on Instagram, or I'm on all of the social medias as Publitarian, or you can email me at publitarian.com or thepublitarian@gmail.com. And that will do it for me this week at Publitarian Podcast. Short and sweet. You guys have a good rest of your week, and I will check in with you next week.
You've been listening to Publitarian Podcast. Copyright 2019.